The Beethoven family arrive Mars. There are Harry and his wife, Cora, their child, Dan, Laura, and David. Harry doesn't like Mars. He felt uncomfortable and strange. He felt his hair flutter and the tissues of his body draw tight as if he were standing at the center of a vacuum. Harry wants to go back to Earth. His wife thinks it's too late to go back to the rocket. He made a difficult decision. He decides to walk into town.
Peter, Harry, Cora, Dan, Laura, and David built a small cottage on Mars. After a while, the clock started ticking when it reached 7. It's the time to get up. They were talking about what if there are Martians that are spying on them. As they looked out the window, there are empty cities left by the Martians, maybe up in the mountains. David was worried that what if the Martians do something to them? But soon after Mr. Peter said, "There's nothing on Mars, only us, no one else. It's all your imagination. And stay away from the cities and mountains," said Mr. Peter. They continued their breakfast.
Something happened that afternoon. Laura stumbled through the settlement, crying, "Mom, Dad, the war, Earth! A radio flight just came. Atom bombs hit New York. All the space rockets blown up. No more rockets to Mars. Ever!" For a long time, there was only the sounds of the wind in the late afternoon. "No, you are lying. The rockets will come back." "No way." Dad was shocked. Sweat poured from his face and his body. He was scared. The fear drenched him. They could do nothing about it. They decided to wait until the rocket came back. In the following days, Mr. Bettering had been able to accept to Mars tomorrow. "If I want, I can buy a ticket and go back to the Earth," he said to himself. He worked, tried to forget about it, but he could not. He glanced up to Martian mountains. People named the place they've been, he thought.
Mr. Bundling felt really alone in his garden, planting a flower in the right soil. He tried to keep his mind free of Earth. The Earthmen had changed names. Now there was Hollow Valley, Roosevelt Seed, Thor Hill, Vanderbilt Planter, Rocket River on Mars. This was not right. The American title had shown window. Using old Indian prairie name, the old name, the old meaning. He tried to look for Martians at the mountain and tell them, "Come down, move us out, we are helpless." He touched the flower and picked them up, then he shouted for his wife. "Cora!" He ran to her. "Cora, here is the flower."
Cora thinks everything is wrong. A leaf, something, the color, the smell. She don't know, but she's sure it's strange. He thinks they have to get away from this. They ran across the garden, each tree felt his touch. The roses are turning green, and the cow is growing a third horn. Mr. Bettering thinks they must touch any of it. Those stuff will make them change, so they need to burn it. But his wife thinks it's his imagination. It's not poisoned. He goes to the town and wants everyone make the rocket with him, but no one wants it. They don't want to go back to that trouble.
Henry is asking help from his friend to help him to build a rocket, but most of his friends said no. But one of his friends said he got loads of metal and some blueprints. and he can work in a metal shop, and he will sell his metal for $500 to him. And then his friend told him, if you are gonna work by yourself, it's gonna take you 30 years, and he kept laughing out loud. Henry was asking Sam about his eyes because Sam's eyes is turning yellow, and Sam thinks his eyes were supposed to be yellow, not gray. After that, Henry went to the metal shop, started working on his rockets. His wife appeared with his supper in a wicker basket. I won't touch it, he said. I will eat only food from our deep freeze, food that came from Earth, nothing from our garden. The reason why Henry don't want to eat the food from Mars because he don't want to get changed too. Henry's wife is trying to stop Henry from building a rocket, and Henry said, I worked in a shop once when I was 20. I know metal. Once I get a start, the other will help. He said, not looking at her, laying out the blueprints. Henry, she said, help Leslie. We've got to get away, Cora. We have to go. Henry still want to go back to her.
His wife took him aside a few days later. Henry, I have used up all the food in the deep freeze. There's nothing left. I will have you make sandwich using food grown on Mars. You must eat, she said. You are weak, yes, he said. It's hot. The children want to swim and hike. I can't waste time. This is crisis. Just for an hour, she said. A swim will do you good. He rose, sweating. All right. Leave me alone. I will come. Good for you, Henry. They stopped and ate sandwich. He saw their skin baking brown, and he saw the yellow eyes of his wife and his child. Their eyes that were never yellow before. A few tremblings shook him, but were carried off in waves of sunset heat as he lay in the sun. He was too tired to be afraid. Cora, how long have your eyes been yellow? She was surprised. Always, I guess. They didn't change from brown in the last 3 months. She bit her lip. No? Why do you ask? Never mind, they said that.
The children's eyes, he said. They're yellow too. Sometimes growing children's eyes change color. Maybe we're children too, at least to Mars. That's a thought. He laughed. Think I'll swim. They leaped into the can of water, and he let himself sink down to the bottom, like a golden statue, and lie there in green silence. All was water, quiet and deep. All was peace. He felt a steady, slow current drift him easily. If I lie here long enough, he thought, the water will work and eat away my flesh until the bones show like coral. Just my skeleton left, and then the water can build on that skeleton. Green things, deep water things, red things, yellow things. Change, slow, deep, silent change. And isn't that what it is up there?
They have been changed, even the language. Dan wants to change his name into Martian Lino. The father didn't disagree, he agreed with Dan. They came to a small deserted Martian villa with a good view of the valley. It was on the top of a hill. Blue marble halls, large new rooms, a swimming pool. It was refreshing in this hot summertime. Mrs. Bittering wants to move to the villa. Mr. Bittering said he wants to work on his rocket, but as he worked at night, the thought of the cool blue marble villa entered his mind. The rocket seemed less important.
He heard the man murmuring on the porch of his metal shop. Everyone's going, you heard? Oh, going, that's right. Bittering came out. Going where? He saw a couple of trucks loaded with children and furniture drive down the dusty street. Up to the villa, said the man. Yeah, Harry, I'm going so soon. Aren't you, Sam? That's right, Harry. What about you? I've got to work to do here. Work. You can finish that rocket in the autumn, when it's cooler. He took a breath. I got the firm all set up. In the autumn is better. Their voices were lazy in the heat. Got to work, he said. Autumn, they reasoned, and they sound so sensible, so right. Autumn would be best. He saw plenty of time then. No, cried part of himself, dipped down, put away locket tight, suffocated. No, no, in autumn, he said. Come on, Harry, Leo said. Yes, he said, feeling his flesh melt in the hot liquid air. Yes, in the autumn. I'll begin work again then. I got a villa near the Terra Canal, said someone. You mean the Roosevelt Canal, don't you? Terra, the old Martin name. But on the map, forget the map. It's a Terra now. Now I found a place in the Pelham Mountains. You mean the Rockefeller Range, said Bittering. I mean the Pelham Mountains, said Sam. Yes, said Bittering, buried in the hot swarming air. The Pelham Mountains. Everyone worked at loading the truck in the hot, still afternoon of the next day.
Bitteries were going to move to Villa. They had to bring some furniture with them, but they're not taking much, considering all they brought to Mars. That's only a handful. They started the truck, looking at the cottage for a long moment. Think about it and say goodbye. The truck swung down in the highway out of town. There were 60 others traveling in the same direction. They left and didn't look back again. Summer burned the canals dry. People in Villa lived safe and sound. In the quiet autumn, Mr. Bitter is still very dark now, very golden-eyed. It's time to go back, but Mr. Bitter didn't want to go back anymore. No reason. They criticized the Earth people built the ridiculous houses, and they said that the Earth people is ugly. They both looked at each other, settled by all they had just finished saying. They left.
They wondered where did the Earth people go, but it is not that important at all. At last, they forget about it and go swimming. 5 years later, a rocket landed on Mars. Americans won the war and came to rescue the people on Mars, but there was no human. The town was empty, but they found Martians, dark, tall, and yellow-eyed native life, who learned English fast. The captain of the rocket looked around and heard the soft wind in the air. They know that this is the mysterious that they might never solve. They will have new settlements to Mars, and they will redo the work they have done in Mars. As they were having the conversation, one of the persons had already affected by the Martian environment.
I heard that you settled down.